We are partnering the A's with the Biden-Harris administration, the governor and his esteemed leadership, our mayor, our county officials, to make this a public mass vaccination site at the Oakland Coliseum. It's a great day. We've obviously been hosting people here for generations to come to baseball games and football games and basketball games, and now folks can come out and actually get their shot and get vaccinated.
The cause that unites us here today has been amplified by our new president, President Biden. We are pleased and privileged, as they announced earlier in their press conference nationally, to identify here California as one of their first pilot sites for over 100 community sites, large mass distribution vaccine centers all across the United States.
We are finally putting America first. Putting America first. And by the way, you know, all the rhetoric you see here, the 1,000 points of light. What the hell was that, by the way? 1,000 points of light. What did that mean? Does anyone know? I know one thing. Make America great again, we understand. Putting America first, we understand. 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. I'm trying to say, what the hell is that? Has anyone ever figured that one out? And it was put out by a Republican, wasn't it?
I will keep America moving forward, always forward, for a better America, for an endless, enduring dream and 1,000 points of light. This is my mission, and I will complete it.
For an endless, enduring dream and 1,000 points of light.
See this? The pyramid in the eye. Do you know what that signifies?
Illuminati.
What does that writing say?
He favors our undertaking.
Yes, I do. And this?
New Order of the Ages.
Novus Ordo. Yeah. You know, the best place to keep a secret is right in front of someone.
Enjoy the silence.
This is 3 6s in the eye. So you can see that arrangement of 3 6s in the eye of Lucifer. So you understand 666 means Satan or Lucifer. The eye, distinguishing that eye, means Horus or Lucifer. And then here we have this sign of silence being used. And that sign of silence you're going to find out right now. We'll go into that sign rather than the 666 sign. This is Osiris in the middle, Isis, and Horus. And you can see Horus puts the finger to the lips. Horus has a counterpart in Greece, which is Harpocrates. And you can see the finger going to the lip in that case. You can also see similarities between the adornment of these gods as well. Harpocrates or Horus, note the serpent and other symbols and figures around him. Notice also the finger to his mouth and the harp-shaped object on his head. The comedian Harpo Marx imitated this deity, and there is Harpo Marx. And he's doing the sign of Horus or Lucifer or Harpocrates. That's why he's named Harpo. It just so happens that Oprah Winfrey has her studios called Harpo. There's dual symbolism here. Harpo refers to Harpocrates, I believe, and therefore Lucifer. Oprah is Harpo backwards, so you have now this dual symbology. They love to do things front and backwards. Backward masking in Satanism is key, so it was very well thought about of Harpo Studios. So you can see here silence. The sign of silence, here's a 2-finger method, and I'll show you how they do it with variants of that. I believe this is African, I'm not sure there, but here we have Horus, Egyptian god. Oh, this is Osiris doing that sign. So we have different gods doing the same sign, but it all references that satanic trinity and these gods that have multiple disguises or manifestations. In Freemasonry, you have now the signs of silence. So now you have a reference to secret societies keeping silent about things, so that dual symbolism of keeping silent and the signs of Horus and Lucifer. Journal of the Masonic Society. Now you can see the sign being done. Here's Harpocrates as a sculpture, sign of silence. You have a Masonic Lodge in Oklahoma City. Now this is key as well, because you see now the Aeon, and the Aeon of Horus, or the Age of Horus. And you see Horus in the background, the hawk shape, and now you see this sign of silence, finger to the mouth. Aleister Crowley and secret societies, and you can see that that is the use of the sign of silence, or the sign of Horus. You can also see the pyramid with I at the top. This is Wicca, witchcraft, and you understand that by the crescent moon and the sun or the star there. Here is that sign of silence again. Down pointing usually means the female aspect, or earth. So you'll see some of that later. You can see this priest, Alumbrados, Illuminati. And these monks and brothers, now we have a reference to monks and brotherhoods, Jesuits and Jesuitism going all the way back through the Roman Empire. And so I'm going to hold that there, but this is Ignatius Loyola, who is the founder of the Jesuits. And you're going to understand what Jesuitism is, going from Jesuitism, Roman Empire, to Jesuitism, to with Gnosticism, and then through onto Freemasonry, founded by Jesuits. And we have Benedictus, and you see the sign of silence being used.
Warm greetings to you all from Bethesda, Maryland. My name is Tony Fauci, and I am director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. Although I am unable to be with you in person today, I am delighted to have this opportunity to congratulate the outstanding graduates in the high school class of 2020. Currently, our lives have been upended by a truly historic global pandemic. I am profoundly aware that graduating during this time, and virtually, without your friends, classmates, and teachers close by, is extremely difficult. However, please hang in there. We need you to be smart, strong, and resilient. With discipline and empathy, we will all get through this together. I had the good fortune to graduate from Regis High School in 1958. I often say it was the best educational experience I could have imagined. I became immersed in the intellectual rigor of a Jesuit education. Importantly, certain tenets of the Jesuit tradition have sustained me throughout my life and career. Two of these, precision of thought and economy of expression, inform how I think, how I write, and how I communicate with the public every day, especially during the present unsettling times. Just as important, however, is the Jesuit emphasis on social justice and service to others. And now is the time, if ever there was one, for us to care selflessly about one another.
Your Eminence, Cardinal Dolan, and everyone at the site of the Al Smith Memorial Foundation, thank you all for having me and for supporting the charities that care for New York's children and families in need in the name of a good man who believed that faith without works is dead. For we know Alfred E. Smith by what he did. I know there's disappointment that the dinner tonight couldn't continue as normal, for us to sit together and put politics aside for a night, because these are difficult times for our country. A pandemic, a recession, a reckoning on race, a changing climate. With each crisis, our faith is tested. Faith in our institutions, in one another, in truth, in science, and reason. But Pope Francis took the time to meet with my entire family to help us see the light through the darkness. I live in an amazing country. We all live in an amazing country, where an Irish Catholic kid like me from Scranton, Pennsylvania, would one day befriend a Jesuit Pope. But that's who we are as a country, where anything is possible when we care for one another.
We need to remember that we are followers of Jesus Christ, and his life, humanly speaking, ended in failure, the failure of the cross.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat, ide inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum.
Simply put, this country and this world benefit from your commitment to Jesuit principles, to being men.
As a graduate of another great Jesuit institution, Xavier University, I have great affection for the value and purpose of a Jesuit education.
A new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
A world of tighter, top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership, with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. Okay? In 2012, the pandemic.
With the pandemic, they're getting tired of the pandemic, aren't they?
That the world had been anticipating for years, nobody was anticipating a pandemic, finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese, they use some scenario, but this is Ebola they're talking about. Even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months.
Here is a Rosicrucian, so you can understand all of these secret societies, all of this stuff goes back, and Rosicrucianism is another secret society, and its roots in Gnosticism and monks and Jesuitism. R.C. Rosicrucian, and then you see the rosy cross being used. That's not a symbol of Christianity.
Behold, the Georgia Guidestones. These granite monoliths mysteriously appeared about 40 years ago. These granite slabs are on a farm outside of Atlanta, and no one knows exactly what they're doing here.
In future generations, they'll wonder, who put those stones there? Why did they put those stones there?
Hudson Cohn was here from the beginning, 1979. He took these photos as the Guidestones went up, 19 feet high, 250,000 pounds, and built to withstand an earthquake. The 4 slabs of granite each have 10 guiding principles of truth and harmony. They're inscribed in English, Russian, Chinese, Arabic. The list of languages goes on. But what does it all mean?
I've had people stop and say it was some kind of Satan worship shrine and it ought to be torn down. And I've had others say it was the holiest spot on earth, that the Holy Grail was buried under there. Some people think it's a beacon to UFOs.
Hudson is one of the only people to meet the man who knows the true meaning. His name is R.C. Christian, and he paid for this all to be built. And wouldn't you know it, R.C. Christian is a fake name.
And you see here again, the use of that. Again, now you have the 2 middle fingers being put together in this portrait, and we'll get into that at the end of this whole thing. And you have now you can see that stained glass window. Moving along, here is Horus, this god, and then you see all of this sacred geometry, all of these patriarchs of science and diplomacy and stature. And then you have now coming on through the, looks like prelates and the Roman Empire, on through distinguished people like John Dee, who was in the court of Queen Elizabeth, and all of these dignitaries coming through, all of these elite coming through. What an image! And to show you that the sign of Horus now is being depicted on Mercury, the god Mercury. And there he is. There's Mercury again. It looks like now this is the sort of Jewish 7 candelabra. I forget what that's called now, just slipped my mind. But just to show you that there is a counterfeit going on, and they use the symbols of these things to twist your brain into thinking that it's all part of the same thing. And so I want you to understand that there's counterfeit going on, and please understand that concept fully as we move along. Over here we have a portrait. This is supposed to be Jesus, and you see the man here doing this sign of silence. Very interesting symbology going on. Even the fingers have that symbology. We'll see a little bit of that later. And you see this woman in the background with a finger to the mouth. Horus, again, the baby Horus. This is called Silence, the sculpture, and you see the hawks on both sides and the finger to the mouth. This portrait with the child and the finger to the mouth. The Masonic checkerboard floor, and you see a lot of this going on here. Very interesting. Colin Powell, Jewish Magic and Kabbalism, gives a due guard of the Royal Archmason. All these guys at the top level. He is a Mormon, and you're going to find out that Mormonism was founded by Freemasons. Winston Churchill, former Prime Minister of Great Britain, a Mason and a Druid priest, gives the sign of silence. Now, this is a key image here. You can understand now the use of the symbolism, dual use. She closes one eye to show you the eye of Lucifer, and then she does the same thing that Lady Gaga does on her album cover with the sign of Horus, and which is Lucifer. So that is a fashion shoot, and that's a studio image. And you can see the same thing going on. Basically, they're covering the eye instead of the OK sign in the eye, the 666 sign.
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Now, moving along with everyone doing the same thing, here's Rihanna. She actually tattooed "shh" on her finger. Lindsay Lohan did the same thing, as well as Lily Donaldson, doing the same thing, promoting the same thing. And now you can see them all doing it. This is amazing to me. And we don't get it, because this is a sign that they've made ubiquitous. Oh, shh, be quiet. That kind of thing. When you see it like this, and that she's closed her mouth with duct tape, and that she's giving the sign of the devil, then you can understand that's a dual symbolism there. This is that lady sovereign from the United Kingdom. Now, again, here's the studio shot of a young Michael Jackson. He does everything as well as this sign. So you understand that that is a deliberate sign of Horus, aka Lucifer. You saw that two-finger symbolism up previously on this plate, and you can see Selena, Fergie.
You pricked my finger.
You're such a woman.
Well, you were the woman.
No, I'm the man.
Who am I?
I'm a tranny. I'm a man.
They all are doing it. Now, I can't say that this is probably, like it's not a studio shot, so I don't want to say that he didn't do that and it was caught there. But I'm telling you that they deliberately catch these artists doing these symbols just to show that allegiance. And when you see studio shots like this, you can understand that this is exactly what they're doing. So let's be reasonable about this, but I'm telling you, it's in the 90th percentile that this is what they're doing.
And all the actors were high Masons. If you take those early actors, Frank Sinatra, all of those that were involved in those movies, John Wayne, they were all 33-degree Freemasons. And if you follow it down through the line to this very day, most of the actors, I would say the great majority, if not all, of the major actors are all high Masons. All the singers, all of them.
And you saw Johnny Depp doing the other signs as well. David Bowie, disciple of Aleister Crowley, of course, he's going to do all of this. And we got to understand the full range of what they're doing. You see all of these artists, these puppets, these ministers for the religion. Blink-182, he's doing it, a variant of that, which is actually, I think, the right way, which is the finger on the mouth in that fashion. I just picked that up just by looking at what movies were out there, and Ben Stiller was there. Madonna. This is a, look at this. Now you can see covering the eye, and she's doing the sign of Horus. Eye of Lucifer, sign of silence of Lucifer. Amazing to me. You can pick this out if you just know the symbols and what they mean. Don't be naive to this world. Understand that there is a doctrine of religion being perpetrated on mankind, completely perpetrated on mankind. Any which way you can do that, silent mode, however creative you can be. And there is a famous actress here on a Japanese magazine. Now look at this. Here's the silence and the devil's sign. So you can understand that's satanic sign, dual symbolism there. And look at this. This is an American Idol, Ryan Lambert. He wears Aleister Crowley's t-shirt, as did the Jonas brother, and he does the sign. Very clear, again, that what they're doing. This is that band My Chemical Romance. You remember the lightning bolt in the eye t-shirt for My Chemical Romance, and they do the same thing. They're all about symbology, and we're simply ignorant to it. Please inform yourself, educate yourself, because I believe that your soul is at stake. As a matter of fact, I am 100% sure your soul is at stake. Is Charles Darwin, and you can see this deliberate photo shoot of him, photograph of him, and he's doing the sign of silence, the sign of Harpocrates or Horus, aka Lucifer. And you can see here now, see no evil, speak no evil, that kind of a thing, but you can see, understand now the one-eye symbolism, the 666 OK sign, and the sign of Lucifer, or the sign of silence. Same thing. These are Japanese. It's global. Understand that. And I just wanted to make a final note. This is Darwin, and he is the founder of Darwinian evolution, which will take you completely away from understanding who God is. It's a completely planned doctrine to make you think that this whole thing is all purely naturalistic.
Trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context?
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought? Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove. The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is selection for societal sanity.
Yeah, they say this is the most complex machine that humanity has ever built.
And I want to, like as they said, thank everyone as we go forward. And with that, we'll say increment 42 has begun. All right?
Congrats.
All right. Here we go. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you all.
We understand science, we can see what happens, but this is a manipulation of science based on things we've never seen, and I'm telling you, you're going to find out in the future in this presentation that our education has been owned. Science is literally owned and marketed to the public. And so if you're not a scientist, you have no particular say in things. And I'm telling you, if you just look with your eyes, and you can see that this particular doctrine that has come about in the last 2 centuries is off. And this clue as to who he's all about and what his purposes are is a clue to being very wary about what you believe. And this is a very touchy subject around the world with regard to faith and science. Now, with regard to Charles Darwin doing this hand sign, and this is, again, very deliberate. You can see this photo shoot, him in the corner. It was very deliberately done as a sign of silence. And so I believe this is a key image to understand he is the father of evolutionary theory. And evolutionary theory leads you away from the understanding of a supernatural God. So understand that there is a doctrine being taught, and if he is part of this secret society, then there is more than just your physical body at stake. What evolutionary theory has done throughout the ages, racism is a result of evolutionary theory, slavery, that slave trade was, social Darwinism, and believing that we need to now socialize our understanding because we're in cities now, and natural selection is not quite working within that, so we have to bring Darwinism into the social aspect. So understand what that's done and what the motive is behind that. And what I've come to find out, and you'll see in another plate with regard to religion and education at the end of that section, you're going to see that education is owned and operated. So there is an underlying jeopardy going on, and it is a fight for the soul and the idea and the understanding of religion, and this has now turned into pure atheistic evolution, and that's what communism is. They don't even allow any religious thought there. And so I don't know what category you're into, but look at this image and realize that there's something being perpetrated, and just wanted to make you aware of that.
Just taking a look at Kamala Harris, you know this person, this individual would not be in the position they are unless they paid their dues behind the scenes, just like everybody in the world stage. There's things that take place that the public doesn't see, they don't understand, that has them move up in this very high position. First off, let's take a look here at Kamala Harris, who attended Howard University in Washington, D.C. And again, for those that follow my channel, they'll know it's all about the numbers with numerology. With Howard University basically being 33 numerology with Howard, what you have here is basically 33 university. And again, the foundation of Kamala Harris definitely did not move up in the ranks organically. Being part of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, again at Howard University. And just taking a closer look here, and there is Kamala Harris. And again, here is the logo, the shield of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And let's take a look here at this one headline. Again, Kamala Harris, the sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority knew all along that Kamala Harris was a winner. And taking a look here a closer look at this pinky hand sign. Just a bit of a closer look here. And you see that pinky in the air. Again, it's all about masonry, with Masons learning how to communicate without speaking. The ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. And this is from a Masonic encyclopedia. And taking, again, another look at that hand sign with the pinky in the air. It's called this ridiculous name, the Skiwi hand sign. And here is a couple little, what you call mini statues, whatever you want to call them. Again, the colors of the Alpha Kappa Alpha, the green and the pink. And what it comes down to is to make, to greet each other. Again, the Skiwi is the sound the AKAs make to greet each other. Again, just all nonsense. But again, when it comes down to it, the hidden Dual 33 in plain sight, which I'll show right now with the Skiwi, again, when it comes to Masonry, doing things in opposites, doing things in reverse, as always in plain sight, again, the Dual 33s. And this is obviously by design, not by chance or coincidence, as I show many times with the Grand Sovereign Commander of Freemasonry. And again, the Dual 33s in plain sight. Now, it gets a bit deeper, a bit darker with these people that are part of the secret societies, and definitely that includes sororities. They're all just branches off the main tree. And let's take a look here, as I showed previously with Kamala Harris. Just take a look here. And again, the signs and symbols in plain sight. And take a look at this hand here. And obviously, we all see what Kamala Harris is doing. Just like we all seen before with the cover of Vogue magazine with Michelle Obama. And again, this is the hidden hand and clearly doing the same exact symbol.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Women of the finest military in the world. Most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah, Michael and I.
But the connection with Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama, and you see here Michelle Obama attending this one event at Alpha Kappa Alpha back in July 6, 2019. What do you see Michelle Obama, Michael Robinson doing here? The same ski-wee hand sign. So again, they're all about the signs and symbols, as you see here as well. Again, with Michelle Obama, the very Masonic hand sign in plain sight. And it gets much deeper and much darker, as we all know this one individual with Anton and his connection. And there you go again, the left hand horns here. And again, this is the left hand path. And this one quote, as you see here, with this organization, and again, the left hand path. So it's very, very important for people to understand this is not by chance or coincidence when you see the left hand in the case of course, Harris and Obama doing the identical left hand, just like Anton, as you see here. And let's take a look here side by side. Definitely not by chance or coincidence. And all three side by side. This is clear as day, undeniable. And that gets into Barack Obama. And they call these the ridiculous name, the anteaters. Any reason, to give a false meaning, to take away from what it really means. And we all know what that means. And again, talking about Kamala Harris and the whole connection with this sorority, which is foundationally created by Freemasons. And take a look here again when it comes to Barack Obama during his graduation. And again, the signs and symbols in plain sight, with Barack Obama receiving a Masonic handshake, definitely groomed to be in the position that he was in, and he is in currently. And again, the G in plain sight. Not by chance or coincidence, this particular angle with the G, great architect in Freemasonry. And also take a look here when it comes to the G with the number system. A through Z, it's 1 through 26. You flip the alphabet over, you land on G again, it is a 33. So again, Freemasonic hand sign with the coded 33 in plain sight. And again, one thing needs to be understood. It doesn't matter if you're on the left with Obama or you're on the right with Sarah Palin. Again, the left hand. Just like Bill Clinton on the left. And you have here George Bush on the right using left. And of course, these symbols are interchangeable between hands, but they definitely like to spotlight the left hand. And you even have so-called televangelist Pat Robertson using the left hand while praying. Everybody has their eyes closed and they don't see who he is showing. He is pledging allegiance to. Basically, what it comes down to is this quote by the very famous Freemason Walter Scott. "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive."
Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence, silence, silence.
We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal.
Thinking for yourself endangers the common good. Body contact causes suffering. Facial expression is excessive. Solitary confinement is safe. Minding your health is excessive. Closeness is dangerous. Sterility is essential. Aloneness is the answer. Restrictions are freedom. Restrictions are freedom. Restrictions are freedom. The government is your family. The new normal is here. Pharmaceutical companies love you. Everyone loves the pharmaceutical companies. Vaccination is charity.
Do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube, you eat like the tube, you raise your children like the tube, you even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Google. Ordering a pizza in 2022. Caller. Is this Pizza Hut? Google. No sir, it's Google Pizza. Caller. I must have dialed the wrong number. Sorry. Google. No, sir. Google bought Pizza Hut last month. Caller. Okay, I would like to order a pizza. Google. Do you want your usual, sir? Caller. My usual? You know me? Google. According to our calorie datasheet, the last 12 times you called, you ordered an extra large pizza with 3 cheeses, sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, and meatballs on the thick crust. Caller. Super. That's what I'll have. Google. May I suggest that this time you order a pizza with ricotta, arugula, sun-dried tomatoes, and olives on a whole wheat gluten-free thin crust? Caller. What? I don't want a vegetarian pizza. Google. Your cholesterol is not good, sir. Caller. How the hell do you know that? Google. Well, we cross-reference your home phone number with your medical records. We have the result of your blood tests for the last 7 years. Caller. Okay, but I do not want your rotten vegetarian pizza. I already take medication for my cholesterol. Google. Excuse me, sir, but you have not taken your medication regularly. According to our database, you purchased only a box of 30 cholesterol tablets once at Lloyd's Pharmacy 4 months ago. Caller. I bought more from another pharmacy. Google. That doesn't show on your credit card statement. Caller. I paid in cash. Google. But you did not withdraw enough cash according to your bank statement. Caller. I have other sources of cash. Google. That doesn't show on your latest tax returns, unless you bought them using an undeclared income source, which is against the law. Caller. What the heck? Google. I'm sorry, sir. We use such information only with the sole intention of helping you. Caller. Enough already. I'm sick to death of Google, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and all the others. I'm going to an island without the internet, TV, where there is no phone service, and no one to watch me or spy on me. Google. I understand, sir, but you need to renew your passport first. It expired 6 weeks ago.
What are you doing with the rest of your life?
Catching up on some me time, find God.
My soul loves Jesus. My soul loves Jesus. My soul loves Jesus. Bless his name. My soul, it loves Jesus. Oh, yes it does. Oh, yes it does. Oh, yeah, my soul. My soul. Over in the midnight hour, my soul. He speaks to my soul. Tells me everything is gonna be alright. Jesus set me free. I hope he set you free. Like he did for